Paper very nice.
That's good. That's a good Jamaican. Jamaican paper nice.
I did the best paper. Mama, Daddy proud of me.
Whenever I'm starting the live show, I always imagine that for a few people, it's the first time they've ever seen me or experienced my channel or anything like that. So that always makes me kind of scared, a little scared, a little worried. It's all right though. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it looks like we're live, we're streaming, everything's good. So hello everyone and welcome. This is Awesome Hardware. It's a live show. We stream it every Tuesday evening at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time to twitch.tv/awesomehardware, which is our shared Twitch channel. And we also stream it to our YouTube channel. So the first half of today's show, which is episode number 136, we've already streamed to Kyle's channel, Bitwit. It's linked in the video description, so if you didn't watch that, you can go ahead and check it out. We've been drinking a few beers and we've been talking about technology, and we're going to continue doing that for another hour or so now on my half of the show here on Paul's Hardware.
Woo!
It's going to be great. A quick word of warning to any of you guys who have young children or that kind of thing. We occasionally use adult language here on the show. We speak freely and openly. And of course, there's some beverages imbibed and whatnot. We encourage you to do so as well if you are doing so responsibly, of course, and are of age and all that kind of things. All right, I think we're doing okay so far. I'm going to do a quick plug here, as we usually do, for our stores. If you want to help support us and get yourself some cool merchandise, very high quality stuff, check out paulshardware.net. You can buy stuff from my store there. If you buy stuff during the show, we'll shout Johnson and your name at you at the end of the show. It's a fascinating ritual, which I don't completely understand myself, but we keep doing it.
We do it anyway.
Nevertheless. Excuse me. Kyle's store is bitwit.tech/store. He also has high quality goods. All comes from the same location, and it's all good stuff. So if you buy stuff, thank you for helping to support us.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Buy stuff.
Now,
Do it.
I quickly need to address something, and by quickly I mean like super quickly, because I don't want to talk about this too much.
Okay.
But I haven't really posted any videos this week, and if you follow me on Twitter, I tweeted a couple things earlier this week about having kind of a rough time, and I promised to share a little bit more today on the live show. I'm not going to go into any crazy details or anything like this, because this is pretty personal and everything, and as I already mentioned, we've been doing some drinking and whatnot, so I don't want to say anything. Anyway.
Yeah. Understandable.
All right, so I am married, and my wife and I, as married people often do, have been trying to have a kid. And actually, we were successful in the creation of a kid several months back, and we had just gotten to the point where we were starting to share it with people. When, at the beginning of January, we got some really bad news. Unfortunately, our child had a condition which was terminal and not survivable. So as of this past week, we're no longer pregnant, and the little girl we were expecting to arrive in this summer is no longer going to be arriving. So we've been really, really sad, and it's been very challenging, and probably some of the most difficult things just to deal with that I've ever gone through. So
Oh shit.
so I haven't done much content production, and
I don't think anyone would blame you at this point.
And my wife and I have done a lot of crying and everything, but we have a really good group of friends and family who've been really supportive for us, and so that's been really cool and very helpful. But I just wanted to, I guess, tell you guys, if I haven't been myself, or if I haven't been doing stuff the way I usually do, that's the reason behind it. So anyway, all that said,
shit, man. I'm impressed that you're like here doing this show right now.
Well,
honestly, you guys have shown some tremendous strength. Well, all things considered, with everything happening and stuff.
CES was rough to get through and everything, but So yeah, thanks to all you guys who have been tweeting us. Like I said earlier this week when I tweeted pretty vaguely and stuff. There's just so many people who said so many wonderful positive things for us. So thank you guys for all of that. Yeah. But anyway, all right. Now that I've said that, let's move on to the show proper and talk about some tech news and that kind of thing. So let's start off second half as we usually do with tech news.
Tech news.
Yay for tech news.
As good as we had.
There's not a whole lot of it going on actually right now. Most of the tech news right now is, hey, graphics cards are really expensive and memory is really expensive and it sucks. But Red, who makes cameras, has been developing a smartphone, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit here on the show so far. But earlier this week, they came out with a bunch more news about the Hydrogen One, which is their smartphone, which also has a holographic display. And actually, they opened up pre-orders for this last year, probably back when we first talked about it in July. So people have been pre-ordering this for $1,200 since July, and I don't know how many pre-orders they have going on or whatever, but more details now.
Nice.
It's got a Snapdragon 835X SoC and a system-on-chip processor. I read a couple things that said it might be a customized one, but nothing very clear about that. It's got a dual SIM configuration, which I think is kind of cool. You can either have two SIM cards, so two phone numbers or two different carriers, that kind of thing, or one of them's, I don't know if one or both of them is a hybrid slot, so you could have one as a SIM card and one as a microSD card.
That's
so
cool.
MicroSD expansion, which is always super nice.
It's not like a proprietary Red microSD card that costs you $500.
Not as far as I know.
Okay.
I know the Red storage devices for their cameras can be very expensive, so I hope that's. I wouldn't expect them. I don't think they can call it microSD and have proprietary stuff going on there, but hopefully that's not the case.
Yep.
4,500 milliamp hour battery.
That's pretty good.
Should hopefully have really good battery life. The weight is listed as 2 ounces heavier than a typical 5.7 inch device, which is sort of vague and non-specific. But
what's a typical 5.7 inch device? Basing it off of the
large,
iPhone Plus.
Yeah, the big screen cell phones basically.
Okay.
You're gonna expect it to be a little bit heavier than that, and that's because it's supposed to be more sturdy and
is this
more.
Also a 5.7 inch device?
Yes. Okay. It is a 5.7 inch screen. So.
Got it.
That would fall in line with that.
Okay.
It does have a headphone jack. Props for that. I don't know how much longer we're going to be able to tell people, hey, good, they put a headphone jack.
Yeah.
Multi-channel spatial surround through stereo speakers or headphones. The display is a 1440p resolution and holographic 4V. That's what they're calling the actual display name.
What does that mean, holographic display?
2D and 4V. It means that when you look at the display from above, it can do simulated three-dimensional hologram. I
wonder what that looks like.
I haven't seen it myself, so it's hard for me to say specifically what it looks like or if it's useful at all or anything like that. But you can supposedly use the camera to shoot 4V content, front and rear, without an add-on module or anything like that, just via the built-in front and rear cameras. They're talking about unprecedented carrier support, so that hopefully means that they have already worked out deals with multiple carriers to be able to get it with a 2 year with a contract plan or something like that. That's often a very useful way to get a really nice phone for not having to pay a big upfront cost if you're planning on sticking with your carrier here for a couple years anyway. Probably gonna have demos of the phone in April, and launch is coming sometime in the summer. So again, not specific, but summer launch. But probably in April we'll see at least MKBHD.
Yeah, I'm sure Austin Evans and
maybe other
John
people
from TLD, those guys will be doing some content on those.
We'll see more of the Hydrogen One. I have not pre-ordered. I 1200.
No, I'm still super happy with my Pixel 2.
I don't get enough views on on any of the cell phone videos I've ever done to warrant pre-ordering something like that. But
true. Oh, us in the PC DIY space.
Yeah.
We're the odd man out when it comes to mobile.
Next up, Amazon Go is now a thing. It has debuted up in Seattle, at least.
Okay.
ARS Technica has an article on it. We've talked about this before. Amazon Go is basically the idea of a store, a brick and mortar store that you physically go into with Amazon app on your phone, and you walk in, you're recognized via the app, you take whatever stuff you want, and you walk out, and it knows what you took, and it bills you to a pre-set up card that you have attached to your account or that kind of thing.
Sure. Why not?
The premise of the store is all based around cameras watching you all the time. I actually saw this store in Seattle. I saw a tweet of it with a big old line out front, but hopefully that was short-lived because it seems not make much sense to have a big line in front of a store that's entirely based around not waiting in line for anything. But there it is, up in Seattle. It's got a crazy camera system going on overhead with hundreds of cameras that watch you the whole time. This is the system that where you walk in through and basically scans you or scans your app. You no longer need a Prime account for this store. All you have to have is the Amazon Go app, so a smartphone basically with the app on it. And there's a turnstile that reads a barcode from the app when you walk in, and then the cameras track you the whole time and watch what you do and see what products you take and put into your bags, little orange bags provided by Amazon to walk around with and do your shopping. And I don't know why all these pictures look like they were taken very hastily.
Yeah.
This is the view looking up, though, and here's where you can see all the different arrays of sensors and cameras and everything like that, which is the thing that seems like both the unique and innovative thing about the store, but also the thing where you're like,
can
really
totally get screwed up.
Like, all of this technology is making this store somehow more profitable than a store that just has people who check you out and make sure that you buy stuff or whatever.
I mean, over time, I guess,
yeah, if it's functional and all.
And it doesn't need troubleshooting done every hour on the hour.
Yeah, they do sell beer, wine, and liquor. There is a physical person, I guess, back in
your ID.
in that area of the store that will check your ID and whatever. And the author of this article, Sam Machkovech, tried his very best to trick this system, to fool it, to steal basically from Amazon. He almost got away with some yogurt, apparently.
Okay. How did he...
But that was mainly because he figured out that if you need to return something, you basically just tell the app, I don't like this thing, and it's like, all right, okay.
It just accepts it.
Yeah, because you don't really need to return it. I think it just refunds you or whatever.
Oh.
So who knows if that type of thing will be taken advantage of. But he tried to trick it by like picking up a thing and looking at the label and putting it back, or picking up multiple things and swapping them around in his hands and all that kind of thing. Wasn't able to fool their system though, according to what he said. Probably largely due to the fact that everything is sort of positioned in its own little aisle with separation between things, so it knows what you've taken and what you're putting back and everything like that. But look, even batteries and feminine hygiene products. Good times.
Someone's gonna find a way to cheat this.
Yeah.
Someone will.
But yeah,
no time flat.
You pick up the stuff you want, walk out, and then in about 15 minutes you'll get an email with your receipt, and it will charge whatever payments method you have attached to your Amazon account or the Amazon Go app.
So you don't have to actually scan any items that you check out with? You just put them in your bag and walk out?
Yeah, you just pick things up and walk out.
So the camera...
Because when you first go in the store and scan yourself in, it starts tracking you as an entity.
Right.
And whatever you take, it associates with you as your entity, and that you as an entity is associated with that account.
And it knows what you've taken solely based on the cameras that are above you.
Yeah, cameras and sensors, and I don't know everything as far as what they have arrayed. Like, I don't know if there's sensors in the actual food dispenser parts of it, or if it's all just cameras and everything going on overhead.
I wonder if it face IDs you somehow.
From from the way the article describes it, no, it doesn't. All it has to do is figure out that you're a person, and then it can do enough tracking of people moving around the store to figure out who you are and that you're the same person as you're moving from place to place.
Right.
And then it's just a matter of tracking the products that you pick up.
I wonder if all those products are on a sensor of some sort. Like even like, you know, a bottle of Tabasco is on like some little sensor so that it knows.
I feel like they can
you
do
picked
that.
up Tabasco.
If you go to a hotel, they can have like a little box
that, yeah.
that detects if you pick up a bag of M&Ms or whatever.
Right.
Like that. I feel like that Amazon should have
it's the
access to
same
that technology as well.
Yeah. I'm
Most
just
likely.
wondering if that's what they're using, or if they're using something more like sophisticated.
I'm not sure. I feel like there's probably stuff that they don't want to tell people because obviously
That's a way to cheat it.
people would try to take advantage of it when they know it's autonomous.
Pretty fascinating though.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about autonomous systems though. It's like, oh, that system's autonomous. I'm going to try to cheat and scam it as much as I possibly can.
Right.
Versus a person, it's like, can you imagine having that mentality with a person like, oh, there's a person standing there trying to prevent stealing. Let's see everything I can do to try to trick them and steal from them.
Machines at this point are less intimidating than actual people.
Yeah,
but that may soon change.
But there's a definite. There's a different
when the robots can like come out and probe you and like stun gun you to death.
Yeah.
Then maybe the tables will turn.
But hey, if you want to steal from Amazon, then maybe you'll feel more justified, at least if you pay their monthly Prime membership, because they've just jacked up the price $2.
3? No, 2. Yeah.
Yes.
11 to 13.
The monthly Prime membership is going from $10.99 a month to $12.99 a month.
18% increase. Wow.
You're right. Might only seem like $2 to you, but crazy different when you consider it to be an 18% increase.
Wow.
Or an extra $24 per year. Although it wouldn't make much sense to suddenly pay $24. Was it $13 times 12? What is that? It's a number. It's 144 plus 12. It's 156. It's $156.
Okay, sure.
Why would you pay $156 a year when you could pay $99 a year for the standard yearly Amazon Prime membership, which has not changed? Is still $99 a year for that. Really what this is all about is apparently there's a subset of people who sign up for Amazon Prime like maybe a couple times a year. Like sign up for it for a month for $10.99 and order like all the stuff that you're going to order for that third of the year or half year or whatever. Get free shipping on it
cancel it.
Then cancel it. And then Amazon has paid $11 for, you know, $20, $30, $40, $100 worth of shipping or whatever. So obviously they lose money. So this is them looking at their business model and saying, all right, we can increase this price a bit. It's going to affect this smaller subset of people who a smaller subset of them is taking advantage of this.
Yeah.
And
it's their way to fire back a little bit.
We'll mitigate their ability to take advantage of it and make up some of the money in the meantime.
Yeah.
So yeah, for most people who pay yearly, proceed. Proceed.
Continue
with
paying
what
yearly.
You were doing before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the best way to go.
All right, moving on. YouTube changed the rules. They're changing up the rules, and this is a bit of a response to the adpocalypse thing that was going on. But they're tightening up the rules when it comes to smaller channels and when it comes to people who want to be involved with the YouTube Partner Program. YouTube Partner Program is what allows you to monetize your videos, to have YouTube feed ads at the beginning so that you can make money off of the content that you produce. And YouTube calls these changes tough but necessary. This is YouTube sort of...
Thanks, Logan Paul.
Yeah, this is all
Logan Paul's fault.
This is YouTube attempting to navigate the waters between what they have been in the past 10 years, developing themselves as the premier online upload and streaming video content platform, to what they want to be, which is a very profitable video streaming platform online. And in order to be profitable with their business model, you need to have advertisers. And in order to have the really good advertisers who pay lots of money, you need to make sure that they're advertising on content that is advertiser friendly. So enter the YouTube adpocalypse and them flagging a lot of channels as, you know, we're not sure if you're legit, if your content is controversial or not, so you have limited ads. This is all them attempting to create processes that are autonomous enough that they can have minimal human interaction and still somehow moderate the vast amount of content that is uploaded to YouTube every second of every single day, some of which they want to monetize and feed ads in front of, which is a good idea for them to be able to make money.
Yeah.
Now, all that said, previously you needed 10,000 total views. That was what you needed in order to get into the YouTube Partner Program, which maybe is a lot, maybe is a little, depending on whether or not you've had a video that took off. Now you need to also have 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of view time over the past year. So again, this is either a very challenging thing to achieve or something that happened fairly quickly, depending on whether or not you... Because you can have a video, a single video that gets enough views that it starts to get into the suggested feed that hits these requirements in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you can have other people who upload videos consistently every week or maybe a couple times a week, but they just don't have that video that takes off, or they don't have... I don't know what exactly that certain je ne sais quoi that the video needs in order to get the views and everything like that. So the rules currently are going to apply to people who are trying to get in, but they're also going to start applying these rules to current partners on February 20th. So that means
no matter the size of those partners, right?
Exactly. So even if you joined the YouTube Partner platform 4 or 5 years ago, based on your content upload and number of views and everything at the time, if you are not currently and still getting enough views, that being 10,000 total views, 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 hours of view time over the past year, then you might be removed from the partner program as well. And I've definitely seen some tweets from some people who this affects in a pretty crappy way. That being people who create content that's maybe informational but in a more niche type of area, and that type of thing. Very helpful, but not necessarily something that lots of people are going to be viewing.
Right.
And I know that's kind of vague, but...
Pup Shepherd, one of our longtime viewers, was saying that his channel's getting shut down.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't meet the 4,000 watch time hours annual in order to keep his channel sustained. He only makes, gets about 2,500 hours, which isn't too far off. And he has 600 or so subscribers, but YouTube's completely just canning his channel because he doesn't meet these very new requirements.
Yeah.
I remember before, like, you could have posted 2 videos with like 100 views each, and like YouTube would give you the option to monetize them. YouTube was all about it. Like, yeah, literally anyone can monetize their videos. And now they're trying to please the advertisers. Advertisers are getting pissed. How could you give this guy who has 5 subscribers, who's spewing racial slurs or whatever, any of our airtime? And so, a few bad apples ruins it for the bunch. Bunch of terrible creators who are making shit content that is not advertising friendly, are not respectful for the terms of service, really, basically are ruining it for the rest of us. That's just how it is. And it sucks because there are a lot of channels out there who are trying their hardest, trying their best, who are trying to meet these numbers in a really legal and fine way that just, maybe they need that extra year or so to really break these numbers, but they're getting cut off now because, it's tough but necessary.
Now, according to what I've read, there probably isn't much of a chance that there's probably nobody who is completely reliant upon YouTube for all of their income who's suddenly getting that cutoff, because the cutoff that they're making this at right now, the level of viewership and everything, is roughly equivalent to about $100 a year when it comes to revenue from YouTube. So what this is doing is it's making it more challenging for people who are just getting started to get started more quickly, because you got to kind of claw your way into the partner program and get yourself a following and everything. and it's more challenging to do that, of course, if you're not making any money off of it. And it's very difficult for smaller or more niche channels who maybe post infrequently or whatever, but who enjoy the bit of extra income that comes along with that. You know, a little bit of a kickback for the time and effort that you put into creating content on YouTube is very nice to have and might help people get more equipment or anything like that.
Yeah.
So definitely is challenging for some people. If you're looking at this from Google's perspective, they're looking at a situation where they have a absolutely insane amount of video content uploaded to their platform every single second of every single day. They are attempting to parse this to take the bulk of it that is not monetizable and separate that from the content that is monetizable.
Yeah.
To make the monetizable content a prettier package to be able to sell to advertisers who want to pay more money,
right, but
who want to make sure that their content is only being placed on videos that they find appropriate.
Right.
So it's a balancing act. And this is the decision that they've made for now. We'll keep an eye on it and, you know, maybe bring you guys some more feedback in a few weeks if we've heard from anyone who's been severely affected by this. For now, excuse me, what I'm hoping this does is take some channels that we watch that we know are well over this threshold. I'm going to point out like Hardware Unboxed, for example, who have been struggling with limited YouTube limited advertisements on a lot of their videos.
Yeah.
Might now have more resources devoted to them to clearing their videos because there's a lot less videos submitted to the manual approval process.
Right.
So maybe that is a positive upshot from this.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
That's true. YouTube might just be sort of investing in the partners who are a little bit more established instead of watering it down because they're trying to cater to literally everyone who's uploading a home video.
Yeah.
So
there's also apparently a something called Google Preferred Videos, which is something that we need to get more of ourselves. If your video is good enough to be a Google Preferred video, which I assume means it hits a certain threshold of views or probably heat when it comes to views per minute or engagement per hour, that kind of thing. Or if you just have a channel that consistently gets lots of views on all your videos, that kind of thing. I imagine
the algorithm has all these factors.
Goes into the Google Preferred Video program. These videos are manually curated, and the ads running on these videos are only running on videos that have been verified to meet our ad-friendly guidelines. So this is like Google's premium program for like content that they're going to curate themselves. They're going to watch and make sure that there's no Logan Paul dead bodies or anything like that in them. Yeah. And as a result, they're going to be able to sell these to advertisers and say like, look, you're going to pay more for this advertising package, but you're going to get, you know, all these views on these really good videos, and they're all going to be really good videos.
This is solid, real primetime content. This is the real deal content, which is good for the creators in a sense, because if you can get onto Google Preferred, you'll probably be making more per view.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll have to talk to Austin, or I bet Austin gets in the Google Preferred.
Oh yeah, I'm sure all those guys do.
Anyway, I'm not jealous. I'm not jealous
at all. Google Preferred is dumb. It's just a name. Bullshit club.
Also, though, actually one of the things I thought was one of the more useful ideas is they're introducing a new 3-tier suitability system. So whereas right now, I guess you kind of have 3 tiers because you have no monetization, limited ads, or you're good. Now they're having a 3-tier suitability system, which probably means like you're good for everything. You're like, maybe you're okay. Feels like a PG-13 rating or something like that, right?
Right.
Like maybe in here you're not quite as family friendly. But hey, it's kind of risque, so I bet these videos are getting lots of views. Right. Right, that kind of thing. Versus like the full-on, like, no, this is, you know, dead bodies and pornography, and like nobody's going to want to advertise on that at all.
Pure trash.
That seems a little bit more sensible to me as well.
Right.
Okay.
I'd probably be in the PG-13 area.
Yeah, I mean, and that's fine. And that's
this show would probably be in the PG-13.
That's what they need, because there's advertisers who like I don't care about the kids. I'm not. You know.
It's not our target audience. We're
Yeah,
not buying our product. I'm going to buy a
I just want
mattress.
the views, and I got the money to spend. So
Yeah.
so there we go. So that seems a little bit more sensible to me.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about some actual hardware. Although it's very brief and very not normally. It's a micro SD card.
Yay!
Look at that.
512 gig.
512 gig micro
Hot
SD
diggity
card.
Damn. Why?
Significant
Sure.
in that it is a record-breaking full 0.5 terabyte of storage
Whew!
in this tiny little micro SD card slot.
Holy moly.
Size of your pinky nail. This is usurping the previous record holder for capacity in a micro SD card, which was held by SanDisk's now crappy and terrible 400 gig micro SD. Obviously, 512 gigs way better. SanDisk's did hit 100 megabytes per second read, though this one does 80 megabytes per second read, so not quite as fast. It's classified as an SDXC UHS-I U1 card, which means it has a minimum write speed of 10 megabytes per second, which is my most disappointing factor of this.
Yeah.
10 megabytes per second is not that great. 4K is going to be mostly okay with 10 megabytes per second, but not 100% okay depending on the format that you're writing it to and whether it's lossless or how much lossiness is going on with it, as well as the bitrate and that kind of thing. Should be able to handle full HD off of most video cameras, but would be more exciting if it was 512 gig, as well as just a bit faster of a write speed to make sure that when you're dealing with really...
Do we know what the write speed is of the SanDisk?
No, I don't. Not positive. I didn't put that in my notes here.
I'd be interested to see what that is.
But if it's a U1 card, then that's minimum 10 megabytes per second.
Mm-hmm.
That's just in order to meet the standard.
Yeah.
This does meet the V10 standard for video transfer rates designed to capture full HD video office cameras. No price, unfortunately. I'm guessing $400.
Yeah.
Launches in February. Everyone go out and buy them.
Buy 5.
Multiple ones of these.
Buy 5 of them.
All right. Oh, wait, a new segment.
New segment?
Next segment. Where'd it go? NetWatch.
NetWatch. You've done this one before.
Next segment.
Yes.
NetWatch. We're going to talk really briefly about a couple stories in the net neutrality variety. We've talked about net neutrality a lot because we think it's important. Back in December, net neutrality was done away with by the current FCC, but some states are fighting back. Montana has become the first state to implement net neutrality by themselves as a state after the FCC repeal. Excuse me. The Montana governor, Steve Bullock, signed an executive order on Monday requiring internet service providers with state contracts to abide by net neutrality principles. According to Bullock, this is a simple step states can take to preserve and protect net neutrality. We can't wait for folks in Washington, D.C. to come to their senses and reinstate these rules.
Yeah.
And indeed, if you talk about polls across the U.S. and most people like net neutrality, want it to be a thing, want it to be a thing that we at least have some guarantee of, some enforcement of. The FCC was able to enforce it for quite some time, or at least since about 2015. Prior to that, it was enforced by light touch regulatory framework, but then internet service providers started pushing back against that and actually doing stuff that was outside of that, causing the FCC to have to take legal action, causing the internet service providers to counter-sue the FCC, which is what led to the FCC in 2015 saying, all right, we're just going to classify you guys as Title II common carriers rather than Title I, which is what they had been before, which gave the FCC the authority to enforce net neutrality. Mm-hmm. And that was all fine and dandy for a couple years until Ajit Pai and the current FCC decided, no, we'd rather apparently do what all of the internet service providers want to do and what is in their best interest rather than in the interest of most people, and roll that back. Anyway, that was a brief history of the net neutrality stuff over the past couple of years. But good on you, Montana, for going ahead with this, because it is something that the states can take action on themselves. Granted, something that was at the federal level would be better, but maybe that will come around as well. Here's a second article from ARS Technica about 21 states suing the FCC to restore net neutrality rules.
Nice.
That's Mignon Clyburn. She is
It's almost half the nation.
21 states in the District of Columbia. I guess sure, half the nation. That's right, Kyle.
Sounds better when you say it that way.
Anyway, she is one of the 5 FCC commissioners. Her and Jessica Rosenworcel are the 2 Democratic FCC commissioners. It is required by law, by the way, that the FCC be split and not have more than a 3-2 majority by any party. So it was required for there to be 2 out of the 5 commissioners be Democrat versus Republican. And as we talk about Democrat versus Republican stuff, and lots of people might be more aligned with one side or the other, it's natural to hear something that might be against your party and to feel negative towards that. We're not trying to make this a political discussion or whatever. It just happens to be falling that way when it comes to how the opposite sides are voting. We just have very strong feelings about net neutrality when it comes to technology and how we feel the internet should work. And in this case, it happens to be that the Democratic side appears to be the ones who are pulling for the rules and the configuration that we feel would be most appropriate.
Yeah.
So that's why we're talking
it's
about
not
that.
personal. We're like, if we are, like, we're not speaking out or like hating on Republicans. We're speaking out and putting a magnifying glass onto people who don't support net neutrality.
Just the Republicans who don't support net neutrality.
It just so happens that a lot of the people who don't support net neutrality are Republicans. So this isn't really like we're attacking Republicans on the first note. This is a transitive property thing, where it's like we are speaking out against people who are against net neutrality. Most of the people who are against net neutrality are in the Republican Party. So that it's nothing personal. It's just that it is what it is type of thing.
There you go. So 21 states in the District of Columbia. The states who are suing the FCC are New York, California, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Illinois, Iowa, Kentucky, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Mississippi, New Mexico, North Carolina, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Vermont, Virginia, and Washington. And it just so happens that every U.S. state with a Democratic Attorney General happens to be every state who's suing the FCC in this case. The Republican state attorneys general did not feel that they should join in this particular petition for whatever reasons they might have. The states filed a protective petition for review, which essentially reserves them a spot in court challenges against the FCC. So there's, of course, ongoing challenges to the FCC's decision when it comes to net neutrality. We will continue talking about it on this show because we think it's important. And that is all for NETWATCH for this week. All right,
NETWATCH.
Let's move on to the final structured segment of today's show, which is going to be Sword Fight.
Sword Fight.
Sword Fight, the classic long-time segment where Kyle and I argue about something. And in this case, we're going to argue about video games and violence. Violent video games. Because you know what? Have you ever been told that you're playing your violent video games and that it's going to make you be violent as well?
Of course.
Apparently that's not true.
We're going to end up killing everyone with a samurai sword, Kyle.
That's not true,
In
at
elementary
least
school.
according to the researchers at the University of York.
They're
They
dumb.
have found no evidence. No, there's.
They're supporting it.
They have
Good.
found no evidence.
They're smart.
No evidence to support the theory that video games make players more violent.
Thank God.
They did a series of experiments with more than 3,000 participants. They studied stuff such as reaction time, realism, and then specifically looked at combat games. Of course, the study is ongoing. They discussed the need for further work to further distinguish more variables, get more data points when it comes to researching this. But, as has been stated many times before, someone who is predisposed to violence
We'll be violent anyway.
will be violent.
With or without video games.
With or without
to
video
influence them.
games. And as is evidenced here, the video games may be a conduit for certain people who have a predisposition, but playing violent video games does not make you violent.
No, of course not. There are no consequences in video games, which is what makes it such an unconvincing argument that it perpetuates violence in real life. Because when you commit a violent act in real life, whether you're an adult or a kid, there are consequences. There are immediate repercussions for what you did. Oh, you punched little Timmy in the face? Well, now you get a timeout and you get suspended from school. Your parents are pissed at you. You punch some dude in the face in GTA 5, nothing happens to you. You realize, even as a young adult or a young child, that there's a huge difference there. You don't necessarily think, well, because I crushed over 5 cars and 30 people in this tank rolling down, Los Santos Avenue, that I can do that in real life and mom and dad won't be mad at me. There's a huge disconnect there, fortunately, between video games and IRL that I think people are just always constantly looking for someone to blame or something to blame. And violent video games is an easy... I mean, there's violence in... American culture has violence everywhere. We're one of the few cultures that actually have, super ultra-violent films and TV. Even our TV shows on basic cable that don't really have any, age gate or anything are extremely violent compared to most other countries out there. Where they fuck no, let's ban that shit, because violence really exists in a real sense overseas in other countries where they don't want to perpetuate that. But it's video games is the smallest threat, if anything.
It's weird. The straw poll links apparently aren't working properly in YouTube, but sorry about that. Cell made a bit.ly link. Thank you, Cell, for that.
He's on it.
But yeah, so since it has been so clearly decided now that video games don't cause violence, we should obviously binge on video game violence, and so that's what we're going to argue about, is what type of video game violence should we binge on now that we know it doesn't affect us. Because there's so many options, in the video game world. We got your fantasy-based violence, orcs versus humans and elves and
warlocks,
Avada Kedavra and all that stuff. You got your horror-based violence, your Resident Evil,
your Silent Hill,
there's some
paranormal activity,
monster created by something and it's scary and the monster's gonna come violently decapitate you or whatever. Your war-based, your shooter-based violence.
Battlefield,
your Battlefield, Call of Duty, your PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Yep.
Fall into this category here, of course.
Yep.
Beat-em-up violence is very generic, but this is...
two-player, side-scrolling type, Tekken.
Your Street Fighter. That kind of thing. Also, maybe your Smash Brothers.
Incredibly.
Is very well... I saw you tweeting... yesterday, the day before, you were watching some...
Wifey Sauce and I were up all night just watching that intensely.
Watching Smash Brothers tournament.
So entertaining.
And then, of course, the violent text-based games.
Yeah, those are the worst.
Those are obviously leaving it up to the imagination.
What type of video game
is what would...
I'm going to say the most violent out of all these, oddly enough, is violent text-based games.
Text-based games.
I feel like that violent text-based games are the most gnarly because it's just text, so your brain... your imagination fills in the blanks of how that text should look and play on paper, which by far and away, I feel like your imagination as just the normal effed up human beings that we are generally worse than the reality of any of these video games. Anything that these video games can portray realistically, your brain has far more horrendous images to conjure up. So I think the violent text-based games are pretty gnarly. I'm gonna go with that one. That's what I'd like to binge on.
I would probably a fundamental level agree with you there, and I probably would have gone with the same choice. But since I have to choose something different, I'm gonna say war shooter-based violence, and this is primarily based on me trying to win, and the idea that the most popular games right now is your PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. And also just, your Battlefields is consummate, popular...
it's dominating.
Popular, FPS games and that kind of thing.
I mean, fantasy-based violence isn't even violent. It's
we're all still a happy...
It doesn't feel like fantasy. It's I gave you an evil potion and now you walk slower.
Where was it?
Violence.
Where was it that I saw? There was some, I don't know.
Fireball!
It was a website or something like that.
Lightning
And
bolt.
it was talking about the number of deaths in movies. And like Lord of the Rings was like just,
yeah.
just as like everyone else is like here, and there's like Lord of the Rings. It's like just so, because like you consider
Right.
these
It's a
massive
mass war.
battles, and it's like
Yeah.
orcs and people. It's just a bunch of
Yeah.
people dying.
But then you walk out of the film, you walk out of the movie going, just what a lovely film.
Yeah, you're right.
It's
You don't imagine
it's
all
it's
that
like they weren't
death.
even real people.
Because it's fantasy.
It's fantasy. It's totally
Doesn't
fine.
seem quite as real.
It gets
or
a
whatever,
pass.
so-
It gets a pass in the violent card.
Yeah, I guess. Anyway,
War and shooters, like real life people, you know, faceless names. You're talking about war and actual events. Like a lot of these video games are based on actual wars that happened. Battlefield 1. So yeah, it's a bit more raw. And
they can't make the deaths quite as gratuitous because
true.
it's based on history, right? Okay.
Feel ya?
All right, let's see what people thought. Check out the results here. Oh, War and
Here
Shooter.
we go.
Looks like I win.
Wow, followed by fantasy.
Tech-Space
I'll be damned.
did pretty good there, though. You got
Yeah.
third. You got third there behind the fantasy there.
That's right.
Almost 20% of the votes. Thank you for all you guys who voted.
Yep,
If you're watching this in the future, you can still go and vote.
you can.
No
It
one,
won't matter much.
No one will ever go and view the straw poll again. though.
No, definitely not. Don't let that
Probably
stop
won't
you.
mean anything.
Don't let that stop you.
Okay. All right. So, hey, that's all for the prepared content from my half. Let's quickly run through.
Sweet. Donations?
Yes, some
Let's see.
donations.
Where do mine stop and yours begin?
That's a good question. I remember you asking this one,
Ahaha.
right?
Ahaha.
With MB67
Yes.
after, or did Matt? No, Kyle's half.
Oh wait. What? Why are mine? Why are mine after yours?
It's
after
labeled
these ones.
No.
Oh, did he
Cell,
swap them?
Cell just confused
swapped
us. Cell confused us. He confused which one of us was Paul and which one was Kyle. It's very-
Oh,
very
okay.
common.
So it is where it starts off on Kyle's
I
half.
think so.
Yes, I think you're right.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. Cool.
Joseph Tischer,
Tisha.
$5 donation.
Mother
Wait
Tischer.
for GPU prices to drop or next gen GPUs upgraded from an i5 760 to a 7700K, but still on a GTX 970. Do 4K. Keep up the good work. Gosh, if you want 4K, I mean, hold out for now. Your 970 is functional. Price drop. Next gen GPUs might come at the exact same time. Stock coming back in. Like,
Yeah.
it's really just a matter of, like, if you really need something right now, you should sign up for website auto notifications, like from Newegg and Amazon and wherever else might have that kind of function, because that's really going to be your best bet, is getting some inventory right when it drops on a retail site for MSRP. For now. Hopefully, in another month or two, things will ease up a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's hard for us to predict too far out.
Indeed.
But good luck to you, Joe. Automatic Matt, $5 donation. Hey guys, scored a Zotac GTX 1080 Mini for $600. So I'll have a micro ATX build to submit for next week for Pimp My PC.
Nice.
Also, Paul, build HTPC. I will. Matt, I will. The HTPC.
The 1080 Mini though
I
for
thought about
600
it.
is like not terrible compared to what we've been seeing. The
I know, I
1080
feel so
for.
torn being like, wow, that's only $100.
It's like that's a lot for a mini,
It's
but
only
at the same
$100
time,
more than it should have cost.
Yeah,
So that's good.
that's bittersweet.
Right? Kind of. But yes, no, but I'm sure it's going to be a very nice card for you, and definitely not crazy overpriced. So there you go.
True.
MB67, Mr. Lenticular, with a $13.37 donation. Paul, I hope that all goes well for you and your family. Cheers. Thank you very much for that. And I hope the same for myself. Myself, yes.
Guido Salducci.
Guido.
Ducci, $5. I love you both equally. I'm going to eat the $25 to see if the power link will work.
Okay.
Worried about blocking the two 4-pin fan adapters on the back, though.
If it's the wraparound one and you've got the fan adapters that stick out, it probably will. Just knowing where the power link goes. But those fan adapters aren't really necessary. They allow you to connect up extra fans that operate at the same fan speed as like the fans on the GPU.
Are you talking about the fan pins on the fan headers on the card?
Yeah, the card itself has a couple fan headers.
This is an Asus?
This is an Asus card.
Okay.
It's a specific Asus feature.
Gotcha. I know.
But you don't need to use those fan headers, so...
No.
Yeah. But give it a shot, see if it works. I hope it works for you, Guido.
Bazinga X, $10. You remind me of Howard and Raj. Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Only question is, who is Howard and who is Raj, or are one of you Stuart? I'd probably be Raj because I'm the ethnic one.
Right.
I have the darker skin.
Yeah.
I'm the Raj. I have the accent. Okay.
You can do the accent.
Okay,
better.
he's
Yeah,
clearly
yeah,
Howard in this situation. He is the typical white man, and I'm offending all the Indian people of my culture right now. I apologize.
It's a pretty good accent, so maybe they'd be like, oh.
There were a lot of Indian people in my high school. I picked up on it quickly.
Right.
I tried to be them. I never fit in. Jujubes, $13.37. Again, magic number. Think quick! Not with that comment. We don't really have to, because you weren't really testing us on anything.
Done.
Scott Dilbeck, $6.66.
Thank you, Scott.
I have one Strix RX 580 for my living room PC and cross-fired Strix RX 480s in my room PC. Should I be selling those for profit? If you need the money, you could. You could.
For me, it depends on, like, can you get by with those computers without the graphics cards? Like, if your living room PC, if you never play games on your living room PC and it's got a 580, then yeah, sell it.
Yep.
Like, if it's still got an iGPU or something that you can use to keep it functional, then you'll make a lot of money on that card right now, and chances are in 3, 4, 5 months, hopefully when prices have settled down, if that happens, you can buy something else that's better. But that's assuming prices settle down.
Bazinga X, $50. Please get some flowers on me for your wife. So sorry to hear what happened.
Thank you. We shall. I will buy her flowers.
That's some good amount of flowers right there.
That should be nice.
Serpent XSF for the $10. Haven't been able to donate or watch lately. Hope you guys have been doing good. Kyle, did you get my little poster for your blank office wall? No, I have not, because I haven't checked my mailbox in so long. It's been like 2-3 months since I checked it. It's really bad. Yeah. It's probably overflowing. Like, they probably hate me at the post office right now.
We can try to go next week, maybe.
I'm definitely going to go, like, tomorrow.
Send us stuff to our P.O. boxes this week, so that next week we can
next week we'll have, like, an epic mail time segment.
Mine is P.O. Box 4325, Diamond Bar, California, 91765.
Mine's 1949, El Amarada, California, 90637.
Okay.
Yeah. You might want to double check the description just to make sure I got that right. Stephen Hill for the $10. What up, Stephen? Was caught up late at work, but wanted to offer whatever emotional support I can. I'm not particularly good at it. I hope you and your wife are all right.
Thank you, Stephen. I know how you feel, because I'm not good at it either. But
neither am I.
We're doing great. Thank you very much for the donation and the kind words.
Thanks, Stephen. Diane Michelle, $5. Say hi to Aaron for me, and sending Paul and Mrs. Paul to the pink light of love.
sounds kind of
pink light of love.
Sounds like a strip bar or something.
It does. Welcome to the pink light of love. Pink light of love.
Next up on the dance is Susan. Everyone take a Susan. Right? I don't know how the announcer voice at the strip. No, thank you though.
Haven't been to one yet.
Who's this? Who knows Aaron though?
Say hi to Aaron for me. Wait, are they talking about my Aaron? No.
Who else would that be? I don't know Aaron.
Who the hell's Aaron? What Aaron are you talking about? Aaron's a very common name. I don't think it's necessarily my friend Aaron. Diane Michelle. I don't know who you are, Diane Michelle. I don't know what Aaron you're talking about, but if we see him, we will say hi. Matt Grimes, $5. I can't imagine how much pain you must be feeling. The community will always be there for you. We love you, Paul.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you very much.
Kind words.
It has been rough, but we're getting through it.
Yeah. Stevie Chow. Stevie Chow!
Stevie!
For the $5. If I took back all the money that I donated to you guys, I could probably get myself at least one bucket of the Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's cool, though. I support you guys. KFC is pretty delicious.
I mean, it's universal too. In China, they have lots of KFC in China.
Yeah, they have really good KFC in China.
Learn that.
KFC is like a big thing there. Everyone eats KFC in China for Christmas, apparently. Yep. When it's Christmas time, that's like their go-to food is KFC. They all dine in at KFC on Christmas.
Yep.
national holiday. $5 from Josh Hellberg. Have a beer on me, Paul.
Thank you, Josh. We'll have a beer off of you.
That sounds kinky.
I mean, either way. Okay.
Check with your wife first.
Thank you, Josh.
Robert Rule, $5. Love you guys. Thanks, Robert.
We love you, Robert.
Appreciate it, man. Dingo on my 40. $5 with a
Dingo.
weird dog emoji looking thing.
That's a dog, I think. Or a hello. It's a Hello Kitty.
What the hell is Hero doing?
He's having a dream.
Okay. He was like he's shaking his leg.
He's dreaming and he thinks he's running. So
he's like twitching and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that's crazy. He looks possessed. He's like.
Yeah. Every once in a while, like he'll start barking a little bit. So,
in his sleep.
and then it to be like, here, why are you barking? What are you barking at? We assume he's protecting us from something.
He's like, rapists.
Rapists.
Rappers and pedophiles. Rappers and pedophiles, Reggie. All right.
He's a good boy.
He is a good boy. And our last donation from Lee Turk.
Lee Turk.
$5. I have a Ryzen 5 1700. Incorrect. You have a Ryzen 7 1700.
True.
And a 6GB 1060. I just don't know what PCU cooler or
CPU?
Also you meant CPU. There a cooler air cooler to go with, or what RAM to help to get help, guys. And Paul, you're in my prayers is basically I think what he's saying.
Thank you, Lee. All right, an air cooler
to go with the Ryzen 7 1700.
Maybe try CryoRig H7.
H7.
Excuse me, the H7.
Yeah. The H7 is a good choice.
It's a good choice. The Cooler Master Air 4.
Yep.
The Pro 4, Master Air Pro 4.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Would be a good choice for you there. What else? Does Be Quiet have a...
Be Quiet has the Shadow Rock. The Shadow Rock Slim is a great cooler.
Okay. She got the slim style. That's got the downward firing air, right?
No, it's actually a tower.
It's a tower. Okay, it's a tower.
Shadow Rock Slim's a tower. It's a very nice cooler. Let's see. Who else makes air tower coolers that are budget? I'm trying to think. Noctua should make one. They do have like a simple tower one that you could look into.
Yeah.
But I don't know what the name is at all. There's a bunch of options out there.
Enermax ETS T40S.
Yeah.
Just make sure it's the updated version that has the bracket for Ryzen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are all good choices.
We'll give you a head start there. I guess we have one more here. Diego F for the 100 MX, which I have no idea what currency that is. I'm about to do my first build. What are some tips for first-time builders, and when is it a good time to upgrade my graphics card since I could not get a good one because of the current prices? When's a good time to upgrade your graphics card? When the prices fall down or when you could find a good deal on one? To be honest, we don't know.
Is Euro?
MXN? Oh, Mexican peso. Could be Mexican peso.
Mexican peso?
Maybe MX is Mexican peso? No, maybe not. Maybe not. People are saying peso, which is about 100 MX is like 5 USD.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, that's fine.
Sounds good.
I hadn't heard of that before.
Yeah, we don't see that one too much, which is surprising because we're pretty close to Mexico and stuff. But I would say, yeah, like I said, wait for GPU prices to fall down before you buy one. Honestly, or if you can get a good deal online or something like that. Yeah, but good luck. Good luck on your first build. I hope it all goes well for you.
Yeah, it's a rough time, honestly.
It is rough.
So, yeah, just focus.
Bad time for your first build.
Focus on getting some of the core components aside from GPU and memory, and then just keep an eye on GPU and memory prices, and hopefully those will come down in the next couple months. We have one more donation from Evocati Productions. $10 says, Paul, you're the man. You and your wife will get through this. Keep trying. Once you succeed, it'll make it that much more meaningful. It will happen. My prayers are with you. Thank you so much for saying that, and I agree. And we will.
You will. You will.
We will. Okay. Thank you guys all for your donations. Thank you for all the kind words. We have a few orders that have come in. I have 3 Johnsons to distribute. First to Jack from Australia. Oh my gosh. He got a couple keycaps going all the way to Australia. A Johnson for Jack. Steven Hill with the thumb screw stainless steel bottle opener.
Double Johnson to Jobs, Steven.
Steven,
Stay positive shirt. Thank you, Steven.
Thank you, Steven. Finally, Dave from New York got the tri-blend t-shirt. The thumb screw, of course.
Nice.
Actually, that's what I'm wearing right now.
That's a beautiful choice. That's all for me, too. And, hey.
Glorious.
Thank you guys for joining us for the entirety of this stream. It's been a lot of fun.
Thanks, you guys.
Do we have a Twitch raid to call out?
You know, I'm not sure. I've heard that Cell has been getting inundated with requests for Twitch raids, and that he's had to develop some special system.
Oh wait, no, Swaccelerated.
Swaccelerated. So, if you guys are watching live and you want to do a raid, go to twitch.tv/Swaccelerated. SWACCELERATED. So SWACCELerated.
And she is playing. She's playing Fury. She's playing Mech Warrior online at the moment. Warrior. She's a variety streamer. She does a bunch of different stuff, but right now she's playing Mech Warrior online. Go ahead and raid the crap out of her.
We assume she's given Cell a significant amount of money.
She has 16 viewers right now.
All right, 16.
Let's make that 1,000.
Raid the crap out of her.
Let's freaking do it.
All right.
Blow her mind,
people. Chat as well. Thank you guys so much for watching today. We'll be back very soon with more videos. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this. If any of you guys are willing to do timestamps and want to post those in the description, I'll try to grab those and pin them as soon as possible too.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.